Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. And I'm very sorry, no hamster this morning. I tried to coax little Boogle out of her house. She has a two-story house. It's a wooden house. It's made out of little slats and logs and stuff. And because it's two-story, it's a safe place. She goes inside of her lower floor where it doesn't have an actual floor, so it's the bedding. And she just goes inside there. I tried to get her out by scrabbling at the bedding and going, Boogle, 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 Boogle. And she actually poked her head out and was sniffing and looking. But then she just went, boop, and poked her head back inside and went to sleep. So I try to keep their safe places, So I'm not going to move her house to dig her out. Now I know I dig into Charvey's nest, but it's just a nest. You move some tissues, grab them out, and then you can put them back in, put the tissues back. It's invading his safe place, yes, but it's also so easily put back together. And with her, the way she freaks out especially, and such, I don't want to tear her house up. Number one, it's hard to put back, and number two, that one's a major change, so I don't do that to her. So no Boogle, Boogle, Boogle this morning. If she comes out, if she hears my voice and comes out, if I wake her up, then I'll bring her out. But until that time, right now, she's inside, and so I'm very sorry. On a different note, I almost like this new replacement sleep mask better than my actual sleep mask. The one that I have fits really good face mask wise. It has a big enough area and it covers my mouth and my nose just right, so it's a good cover. This one's smaller. It's medium, but it's smaller, and so it barely makes it over my nose, and it really runs real close to the bottom of my lip, so that when I'm wearing it, it actually just pushes in on the top of my lip and barely touches my bottom gums on my jaw. So it almost doesn't fit. But almost only counts in hand shoes and hand grenades. Hand shoes and hand grenades. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Boy, I messed that one up. But horseshoes and hand grenades. So because it fits, even though it's real close to not fitting, because it fits, perfect seal. Perfect seal. And it's absolutely silent. And if you see my nose, yes, it's still red. It's still red from that because the bridge of my nose is, very thin skin. Everybody's bridge of their nose is very thin. And so any pressure on that, especially for a couple hours, your skin starts to die. And that's why my nose is red there, because of the pressure. So there's a lot of blood being rushed into that area because a lot of my tissue died. And a lot of my tissue is injured because of that. Happens every night. Thumbs up. When you wear glasses, that's what those red spots are too, from the nose resting parts. The blood is rushing into there. That's why it's red, because you've got tissue that has died from the pressure, and you have tissue that is injured from the pressure, and so they're rushing in with blood to help heal all that. And so that's what that is. But as you'll see, it doesn't have these two huge indents that the Simplus, which is the brand of mask that I usually wear that's bigger, leaves in the bridge of my nose. This one, the cushion, is better even though it's smaller. So I don't know. I may just stick with this, with the mask that doesn't really fit, because I like that. That should heal by like maybe 3 or 4 o'clock instead of staying red all day. So that's a good thing. But yeah, my sleep mask showed up 2 days ago. Well, it was a day and a half ago. Well, it was last night and the night before. It was like, by the time it showed up, UPS, it was like 5 o'clock on, what's today, Friday? So it was Wednesday? So Wednesday night I slept with the new mask, liked it. Last night I slept with it, liked it even better, because it was almost 6 o'clock when I woke up. Pain finally woke me up at around 6 o'clock instead of around 4 or 5, which is what it usually does. So this new sleep mask, which I say I may use forever and ever and ever because of this, is awesome. It has even a little adapter on the inside of it. So at first it was like, this doesn't fit. What am I supposed to do? They said it fits. And then I looked at it and went, you know, there's a thing inside of there. I wonder if. And then I took my finger, hooked it inside. I don't have any tools. And then just went pop. And yeah, I'm really shaky this morning. I don't know why. But well, this hand I do know why. This hand is my injured hand. My nerves are still, they're scar tissue. The nerves have grown back. Because as you can see, I can move it, but it's clumsy. It doesn't move quite as quickly. There's scar tissue on my my motor nerves and my sensory nerves. And so it does not work as well. A lot of the signals trying to get through are getting blocked by the scar tissue. So it's clumsy, but it works. Now, what was I talking about? Oh yes, the shaking. And so I went pop, and I pulled that adapter out. And then it just went, foop, stuck right in. So very, very cool. I like that mask a lot. It's a very good thing. Oh gosh, there was something else I was going to talk about too, of course, but I've forgotten exactly what it is. Part of it is this. Remember, everyone you see is hurting too. It's remember, we did not evolve for the type of life that we live now. For however long it was before our brains got big enough that we started developing civilization, we were just like any critters. We evolved and adapted and became what we are as hunter-gatherers on savannas. Now, evolution is not this mystic great force. Evolution is just a big word for creatures fitting into a niche. And what that just means is life wants to expand. There's always life. We reproduce. And when I say we, I mean things on this planet. So there's always a great pressure to expand. And so places where creatures aren't, they're going to slowly impinge upon it. Because you need to expand because of population pressure. And so when you go into an area, a new area that none of your whatever species, people, race, whatever goes into, those people, animals, creatures, beings that aren't well suited for that will die first. That's just natural. You get sick because it's a new environment, or it doesn't have the nutrients that you need, or it's just physically too tough and you die. Now those that manage to live long enough to reproduce, that just means that those ones that lucky enough or just happen to be hardy enough, their kids live. Is that a mystical force? No. That just means you managed to live long enough. But now your kids have got, hopefully, that adaptation that helped you live better. So now let's say there's just someone who isn't as hardy but managed to have kids, and you, with your kids, and you're hardy. So now there's this person, they're sickly, and they got sickly kids, and you know they have 6 or 7 kids, and all but 2 or 3 of them die. But your kids are hardier, and so you have 6 or 7 kids, and all 6 or 7 kids live. Where's the mystic force in this? There is no mystic force. The sickly people die off. The hardier ones live. So the hardy ones pass on their genes, and suddenly everyone there that has managed to survive is a little bit better adapted, has evolved to fit the niche. That just means you fit an environment. Eventually, enough stuff happens that, let's say, you become a desert-faring people. Because of your people, you're able to go into the desert. So there's spiders that live in the desert, and lizards, and all these creatures, and people. It's not a mystical force. But the thing is, with evolution and adaptation, as soon as you begin to change the environment, evolution stops. Because you are no longer adapting your own self to fit the environment. You're adapting the environment to fit to you. So suddenly all the sickly ones that would have died in a desert or whatever live. And so you spread out that way. What was I saying on that one? Oh yes, it's you don't have to adapt anymore. And so suddenly we've got all around the world people and animals that would never fit into a desert environment. But the point on this one is we didn't evolve and adapt to the kind of modern life we live now. Modern life is painful. That is why so many people self-medicate just to get through life. Working at a 9-to-5 job at a desk, let's say, or even in a manufacturing plant as a steel worker or a rail worker, whatever. The point is we didn't evolve over hundreds of thousands of years, slowly adapting to the environment to be into this situation. It's fine to do it. There's no rule book that says don't. I mean, there is no cosmic rule book. I mean, even if the entirety of the world fell into tyranny and stayed in tyranny until 100 years from now, the last human being is murdered, and the dictator at the time just goes, well, I did it, and then the human race is gone. It would be a tragedy. It would be a shame. It would be wrong from our point of view, of course, but on the cosmic scale, there is no rule book. There's no book that says things have to be good, that people have to be happy, that we shouldn't be murdering each other, that we shouldn't nuke the planet. We'd only be fitting in with the rest of the universe if we rendered the planet uninhabitable, wouldn't we? But that would be bad. I don't want that. I'm one of those that likes justice. I hate injustice. Any injustice just bugs the snot out of me. That's one of the reasons, and I don't know why that is, but any injustice toward any human being just pisses me off. And so that's why one of the big things with what's happening in my country right now, with my immigrant refugees coming in, fleeing horrors, and there's nothing wrong with seeking asylum. Seeking asylum is not a crime. Even trying to just flee, you're seeking asylum, you're seeking help. Being turned back and told no, that's a crime. But what's happening here is an injustice, and I hate injustice of all kinds. I don't like racism. I don't like sexism. I don't like any of the isms, because people are people. And I empathize with people. I can put myself inside just about anybody's skull. And I don't ever want to get hurt or crushed or damaged or things taken away from me or my life destroyed. That's terrible. And because I don't want it to happen to me, of course I don't want it to happen to anybody else, even in the abstract. I mean, stuff that even would never happen to me, I don't want to happen to anybody else. I mean, I can't say never. I mean, you never know. Who knows that we may have lines of refugees leaving the country here and trying to get into Canada and Mexico in the next couple of years. I mean, so who knows? Could be a refugee myself. But it's just because you aren't somebody, just because you aren't living their life, doesn't mean you can't empathize with them and try and want to try to help. I don't understand people that look at like these migrants and refugees and people seeking asylum and fleeing horrors. I don't know how you can be that kind of person that says, turn around and go back. I don't care if you die. You're not coming in. I don't understand that at all, especially when these people are trying to use the Bible to justify all these horrible things. And as they're pointing out, this is the exact same stuff that the Nazis did. Use these exact same biblical passages to justify the Holocaust. This is not good, and I don't know what to do. This is wrong, and what does one citizen do? Especially when you've got a whole block of people that are willing to say, I am willing to die. I'm willing to die. I'm willing to let my children die. My children can die. As long as it triggers you libtards, I don't care if I work again. I don't care if my children die. I don't care if your children die. If it pisses you off, I'm happy. Now I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch my mother die of diabetes because it triggers you libs. Have a good day. What do you do? How do you fight that? When you're willing to die to trigger somebody, how do you fight that? I don't know. But I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me comments today. Thank you so very much. It is greatly appreciated. Now, I'm not reading the comments right now. I read every single comment. I thumbs up every one I can. I answer as many as I can. But for right now, just to thank people, I'm only just reading the names. So whether it's a good comment, bad comment, indifferent comment, thank you for having left a comment. That is what is appreciated. And if I mispronounce your username, I am very, very sorry. Here in the United States, we are good at separating people from their families and removing them from their children so that they kill themselves. Because, yep, people are killing themselves because we are taking their children away. Gotta love the USA. And, what's the last one? I've forgotten. There's another thing I say, but I forget how it goes. Oh yes, it's because it's a range. 20 to 25, I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, but because of my fibro, etc., I forget. So I'm calling up my Chrome, and I'm going to thank Evolfire, thank you very, very much, and MLG Hitler, well, how about that? And Sherry M, thank you very, very much. No Name, greatly appreciated. Mr. Zambi, thank you very, very much. Michelle 88960, thank you very, very much. And Dawak, thank you very much. Jeremy Rocker, greatly appreciated. And Thunder Keeper, good to see you in the comments. It's very cool. I do appreciate that very much. You're a good guy. And Big Dick Larry, how about that? Thank you very, very much. And Jacob Watson, greatly appreciated. And you start, and you start Your Mom's Dead. Well, how about that? Thank you very much. And Smokezilla 13, World Ruler, greatly appreciated. Pierce the Jest, how about that? Enoch Merlot, greatly appreciated. Leon R, thank you very, very much. And Magic Ninja, what? Hey, I recognize your name. Brian Glenn, thank you very much. See, I pronounced your name correctly today. Rosa Less 88, thumbs up and thank you. Airsoft Community 321, thank you very, very much. Airsoft, that's the, those are the pellet type guns, or the, yeah, Airsoft. I've watched some of the Airsoft matches and stuff on YouTube and such. And A. Doran Blyett, I sure hope I'm close, but I bet I'm not. Stubbs, greatly appreciated. WPG Original, thank you very, very much. I'm super shaky today, I'm very sorry. And last but not least, Jurassic 375, thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. As stated, to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you very, very much. And of course, if you could toss me a like, that would be greatly appreciated. I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a good thing. And if you could check out my various links, I've got Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. Really, honestly and seriously, I'm going to be bouncing checks when my insurance, car insurance comes in. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign, that would be awesome. I need my insurance, or I can't ever make it to my therapy. If you could help, that would be awesome. Or if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. However, if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very, very much. Never be sad or ashamed if you cannot help, or you want to help but just can't, or whatever. I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart. I'm not lying when I say that. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal, well, day I kick off. Just fall over dead in my chair. Hopefully 20 years from now instead of like 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully good. Well, shucks, 19 minutes and 23 seconds. Of course, I have an Amazon wish list if you wanted to check that out. Don't feel obligated. It would be cool if you did. And I am partnered with Humble Bundle. If you could check that out as well, that would be very, very cool. Again, don't feel entitled. Don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. I am a paid sponsor, so that's a thumbs up. I'm going to hopefully have a reaction video, hopefully a game video, hopefully a game video from my game channel. Actually, I got a video from my game channel, just need to upload it. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very good thing. And just remember, avoid the death bus. Please.